Today we got a major update on the 2026 NASCAR schedule. Plus, one of the NASCAR Xfinity Series' largest teams parts ways with the driver mid-season. Welcome back to the Breaking Bob channel. Hope y'all are doing well on this Wednesday night and what seems to be just a loaded news week in the NASCAR world. More than usual, it seems like. Got a video posted last night. Of course, if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a thing as far as NASCAR content on a daily basis here at Breaking Bob. I'm doing my best to stay up with the news and the current events in the NASCAR garage because it seems like there's always something, one thing after another, and today is no exception. Let's start off with some lighter news, some exciting news though. Is Greg Biffle, the Biff, is back. Kind of. He's returning to the ARCA Menard Series, the ARCA West Series, for a one-off event at Tri-Cities Speedway. And now Biffle did run this race last year where they made that man put rookie stripes on his car. Hopefully they don't have to do that in year two. Former track champion Greg Biffle, just synonymous with NASCAR and racing. Great to see him still in the racing world. Of course, he's also tutoring and hanging out with Cletus McFarland. Biffle running the no sleeves look a lot of times now when you see him out in the wild. A new update in the Greg Biffle world, though, is he'll be running the ARCA Menard Series, ARCA West race out in Tri-Cities in a couple of weeks. So exciting to see the Biff staying up in the NASCAR world. One driver, though, that won't be racing in a couple of weeks. That's a heck of a segue. Whew. Major update in the Xfinity world here as Kaulig Racing announced today that Josh Williams will no longer be a part of the Xfinity Series team, the number 11 ride with Kaulig Racing, effective immediately. Kaulig Racing released their statement first. Quote, Kaulig Racing announced that it has parted ways with NASCAR Xfinity Series driver Josh Williams, effective today. Kaulig Racing will field the number 11 Chevrolet with multiple drivers over the remaining 12 NASCAR Xfinity Series races. More announcements regarding the driver lineup will be forthcoming. And it was Carson Hocevar that will be in the ride this weekend for that number 11 Kaulig entry at Iowa. So Carson Hocevar pulling double duty out at Iowa Speedway this week. Josh Williams also released a statement, quote, as most of you have seen, Kaulig Racing has made the decision to release me for the remainder of the season. This has been a difficult day for my family, friends, longtime partners, and fans whom I can't thank enough for standing by my side through all of this. We will be back soon, looking forward to a much brighter chapter in my racing career. I wish nothing but the best for my guys on the 11 team. So Josh Williams without a ride in the Xfinity Series. I do think he already has a ride planned. It sounds like there's rumors that he already has a full-time ride next year for a team that could be potentially expanding to 2 cars in the field. But we'll see if that actually comes to fruition. It just seemed like this never really worked out. This is Josh Williams' second full year with Kaulig Racing following his stint with DGM, which he actually did fairly well for the results in the kind of car he was in. But with Kaulig Racing, it just never seemed like it materialized. It never really made sense at the same point. Again, year 2, 54 starts as of now, 6 top 10s, not a single top 5. I think he finished 19th in the playoff standings last year, 18th currently this year. Just not a wow factor, but it's a guy that is really likable one way or another on and off the track and in the garage, does a lot of work with the community and kids. Just an ambassador for what a NASCAR driver should be off the track with fans, sponsors, and everyone alike. But again, it just never really made sense, the timing at Kaulig. And also, partially, you can look at Kaulig Racing. It's not the same Kaulig Racing that you think back to 2021 when AJ Allmendinger's wrecking across the finish line to win the regular season Xfinity Series championship at Bristol. This isn't that Kaulig Racing anymore. They used to be trophy hunters. And now, I mean, this lineup now with it's Daniel Dye, Christian Eckes, and just a variety of drivers in the 11. Now it's not the same Kaulig Racing that you were expecting back a few years ago. So, it's unfortunate for all. Hopefully Josh Williams does land on his feet, but just it's a decision I think we all probably saw coming even at this point last year, potentially even. And a major update for NASCAR's 2026 schedule. Everyone wants to always know about this schedule coming up. Ben Kennedy said last week, it'll be out in a few weeks, which is term for it'll be a couple of months probably. Hopefully not as late as, what was it, last year or 2 years ago where we waited. It was in the middle of the playoffs when they announced the schedule. It was a long time. Hopefully we don't have to wait that long. Of course, San Diego was announced last week as a street course out on Coronado Island on a naval base. With that, was NASCAR really going to add another road course to the calendar when everyone's already kind of maybe fed up with them? More people are just fed up with the idea of road courses, I think, stacked together in the season. I think if they had spread out these road courses instead of 4 and 9 races in the summer, it would have gone over better. But With that, you have to look at San Diego adding onto the schedule. One track has to come off of there, and potentially multiple, because now we've got some clearer picture of the schedule, as Mexico will not be a part of the 2026 schedule, but Chicagoland will. So Chicagoland, the oval, is back. Now the Chicago street race was announced a couple weeks ago that won't return as well, but NASCAR is staying in Chicago at the oval. We'll talk about that in a second. But Mexico City won't be on the schedule for 2026. It sounded like NASCAR tried to make it work, but next year, the FIFA World Cup is in North America, and Mexico City is hosting the FIFA World Cup during those dates. So that was off the track there for NASCAR. They couldn't run down there. They tried to make some spring dates work, potentially around Easter, but the logistics, you need a bye week either before or after. It would have been tough. But also, in Jordan Bianchi's Athletic article, he says that NASCAR potentially was looking at a doubleheader with IndyCar in the Mexico City race next year. So maybe some goodwill between the two series after all, but not going to happen, at least in 2026. I think, though, this is one of those where you're looking at Mexico in the future. I don't think this is completely written off, just like the Chicago Street Course. I think San Diego's a one-off event. The Chicago Street Course could come back as early as 2027, but it's going to be hard to balance that because now Chicagoland is on the schedule, at least in 2026. Of course, everyone's wanting to see this next-gen car. It's raced historically well on mile-and-a-half ovals back at Chicagoland, and now fans are getting what they wanted. If as many fans buy tickets as they were tweeting about Chicagoland coming back, this thing's going to sell out immediately, and roughly about 47,000 fully attendance here. It's taken a dip from what it was previously, but also the date on the schedule, 4th of July weekend. So NASCAR keeping their presence around Chicago in that area, running the Chicagoland race on the 4th of July weekend. That's going to be very exciting, and it'll be interesting to see what the attendance looks like out in Joliet. It's dubbed as the Chicago suburbs. It's a trek out there for sure. But, again, fans have been wanting this track on the schedule now since the next gen has really produced great oval racing. So really interested to see what that looks like. And again, Mexico, I do want to see them return because, one, it's good for NASCAR to be in different areas and exposing themselves to different markets, but also the racing at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, it was pretty good overall. I mean, SVG dominated the field, but overall, I thought that the track produced really good racing and some good moments. And I think that there's a place for it, maybe circulating on the schedule. It doesn't have to be where every track is locked in every single year. You can rotate the calendar. I think NASCAR is looking at that potentially. So, let me know your thoughts down below about this new update on the 2026 schedule. Of course, Kaulig Racing releasing Josh Williams effective immediately as well. Major update in the NASCAR world. We'll see what tomorrow brings, but I'll be here to capture it all in the NASCAR world here at Breaking Bob. Make sure to like this video if you like what you saw. Subscribe to the Breaking Bob channel for more NASCAR content on a daily basis. And there he is. We'll end the video with a little Norman cameo as always. So we'll see you next time here at the Breaking Bob channel, folks. Stay tuned for more. See you next time.